It decreases markers of depression. So, main point is it's one very important factor that can go into how you feel every single day, and it can make you feel way more alive.
What's going on?
All right, guys, this is the Full-Fledged Life Show. I am your host, Jonathan. I'm here with my wonderful friend, Gavin.
What's going
And
on, guys?
today, as always on the show, we're talking about health, mentality, and we're dipping into spirituality and personal development. It's eating for happiness and energy. And we should do a little bit more on mindset, linking eating and happiness, because there may be a disconnect for a lot of people where they think food doesn't necessarily impact them. They're above that level. But the truth is, what you eat impacts your energy, and how much energy you have makes you feel different physiologically and psychologically. We're going to get into a lot of different factors, like foods that are anti-inflammatory, are good for your brain, can heal depression. We're going to talk about minerals, because minerals help with energy. We're going to talk about
I have a lot of
vitamins.
questions. I'm sorry. I just feel like when people are listening to you, they're probably asking similar questions that I'm wondering while you're talking. Like,
Shoot.
because you said that food can heal depression. Is that what you mean blatantly, or is there something more? You're enhancing your body. Like what we're trying to preach is you're enhancing your body so then you can deal with the things that you're having trouble with, like depression. So I think that
Yeah.
it enhances yourself so you can then get out of depression.
Yeah, it's not a miracle godsend. It's not going to instantly change
Yeah.
all your problems, because these things
There's
are
more
very
depth
complex.
into what the, because like when I hear food heals heals depression, I'm thinking then I should just, because that's a big misconception. I don't want that to be I don't want people to misconceive that, because that's not the case, you know.
Well, yeah. Hopefully nobody took it that way. But what I was saying is that when scientists look at what turmeric does to the brain, it decreases markers of depression. So, main point is it's one very important factor that can go into how you feel every single day, and it can make you feel way more alive. So, where were we? We're going to talk about omega 3s, and we're going to talk about a couple practical tips. You're big on being intimate with the food, creating the right ambiance and the right inner ambiance. Yeah, you got a little romance going on with the food, which everybody should.
Shit, like it's kind of yeah, because it's a relationship. It's kind of like a relationship naturally, where you're eating food and you're coming together with it, and it's creating you shit. So
Yeah. So we'll come a little bit more into that. I feel like we touched on the mindset. I mean, it's kind of clear that if you're not giving any attention to the food, you're missing out on a huge area that can be really helping you. So hopefully everybody that hasn't paid attention gets some value out of this, and everybody who they've already done a couple things and they think that they have a healthy diet, hopefully you can experiment with a few things that we're talking about, and it can make you feel even that much better. So how about we just jump through a couple of these things? So first thing I want to talk about is just a few superfoods that you can instantly add to your diet that will instantly make you feel better. And if you haven't tried these, put it to the test. Don't believe me just because I say it. First thing, oh man, when I bought cocoa, and it was a good organic cocoa, I bought it because I read about it in David Wolf Superfoods, and he talked about the 4 different chemicals that it gives you: an anandamide, endorphins, like when you work out, oxytocin, which is like what you feel when you're bonding with someone, like what we're feeling right now. We're like, oh man, Jonathan, you're such a good friend of mine. I'm like, Gavin, man, I connect with you so much, bro. As we drink our hot cocoa and make a podcast.
I have a question when you're done. I'm just raising my hand like a student, but go on.
Sure.
I'm gonna
So
do that. Is that okay if I raise my hand while you're talking, and so you see me, and then so I don't just fucking interrupt you and say I'm okay? Go ahead.
that's good social etiquette. Okay, you learned well. So literally, these chemicals get produced. Nice, nice. It still had the cap on.
I know. Don't tell them. We're cutting this out, okay? We're gonna cut this out.
Oh, they didn't know this. Okay, I won't
No,
tell
they
them.
didn't.
Okay.
All right,
So
back.
you're eating cocoa and you're literally getting these chemicals that you get when you work out, when you feel pleasure, dopamine, when you're bonding. It's not in the same amount as when you're literally making a romance to someone you love, but instantly it'll change your mindset. Not to mention that it has all kinds of nutrients that will prevent cancer. Cocoa is such a delicious thing. One of my recipes is I just like putting cocoa powder with almond milk and putting mangoes inside. It's like mango ice cream. What's up?
So, do you think happiness is dopamine? Do you think dopamine is happiness?
There's so many things that go into happiness. It's not just a chemical, but dopamine is not happiness because dopamine is more pleasure and is the motivation neurotransmitter to motivate you. So it can motivate you. So I mean, it's all semantics. When you feel motivated, isn't that a part of happiness? Especially if it's coming from a
I
natural
think it's
state
I
inside
think it's a
yourself.
way to I think it's a way to get happiness, but what I feel like motivation is more like a drive, like your drive, because happiness is not wanting to be more. I don't think happiness is wanting to be more. Happiness is a feeling of it's like a I think it's a group of I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of perspectives on happiness, so it's hard for me to like really build that because I haven't thought about that a lot. But um,
I like your mindset. When I feel happy, it's basically just your body feels good, your mind is thinking good thoughts, and you have good energy.
you know what I think happiness is? I think happiness is no matter it doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter what's going on. You're internally still feeling happy. I think that's what it is. I
Mhm.
think it's not. I don't think it's something that is defined. I think it's something that. Well, no, I actually do think it's defined. It's definable. I just think that it doesn't matter about external sources. I think it's just it's emotional. You know.
Yeah, so
I think
that
happiness
perspective
is.
is
I think
is high
dopamine is the
level.
result of happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Eventually, yeah, self mastery will say that you should be able to create your own happiness, which in scientific terms, you'll be your own alchemist, your own pharmacist, where you don't necessarily need much from the outside. You're happy by your own nature. You're appreciating everything. You're just happy breathing. You're happy looking around. You're happy if you close your eyes. This is a very high level concept that spiritual seekers are really looking for, the understanding of how to make yourself into that kind of system. Go ahead, man. You don't have to.
I think that I think that what we're trying to get, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we're trying to tell people to get healthy. Not we're I think we're telling people to change their diet, not to be happy, but to get healthy so you can stay happy longer. And
Well said.
that's where vitality comes in because I don't think people should relate food with happiness because then they're saying that food is dopamine and that might be a logical fallacy, but I don't want people to misunderstand diet and happiness because you feel good when you eat sometimes, but that's not what happiness is. That's like a high. That's like something, you know.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people fall into is,
That's a
they're not
response.
emotionally
That's a
happy
response. That's a
and
response.
they're eating for
And
the
there's different types
dopamine.
of happiness. I think that's important. There's different types of happiness where there's one that is uncircumstantial, under no doesn't matter the circumstance, you're still happy. Then there's happiness where you can be affected by like, oh, this makes me happy. I don't drink, but that's an example. So I think that you have to choose the we have to choose what type of happiness we want in our life. And I think that um, we're basically saying be healthy so you can do that longer and better.
Yeah, I love what you're saying, man. It's like a stepping stone. If you can't already just jump to that invincible stage where you're happy unconditionally, that's really enlightenment, really. I mean, our understanding of enlightenment is there's so much to it. You can't just put it in one, so don't nitpick those guys. But for from our vantage point, if we see somebody that's just always happy, even though hell is happening around them, that's a pretty good sign that you're at that point of being enlightened. But that's a really deep spiritual thing. So on the road
So
there, we need stepping
I have to cut
stones.
you off. I have to cut you off because we're
Hold on, let
kind
me
of
finish this thought.
steering.
So
Okay.
on the way there, there's a lot of basic things. You can't just skip the journey because if you could, go ahead. But this is a stepping stone to where you establish yourself so that you have everything going for you. And so if you're feeling like you're in a rut, if you're feeling like um, your energy is low, then yes, you have to have everything going for you that you can. You're in a fight, you're in a battle. You have to have every advantage possible. And food has to be one of those things. It's a very simple thing. And if you ignore it, then you're going to create a lot of hell for yourself. And it's not just tomorrow. It's not just um, a surgery or a disease that you can get. It's today. The energy is being disrupted. And if you're into spirituality at all, energy, especially in the yogic tradition, we focus a lot on energy. The life energy in you is how alive that you feel. And you can use so many different things to increase your life energy. Food is definitely one of them. What were you thinking?
I just think we're steering away from like diet and we're kind of talking about enlightenment. Um, let's go back. Let's continue with what we were saying about like superfoods and omega 3s and stuff, so we can bring it back to like diet because I feel like I'm getting confused like of what we're talking about, and it's just like there's so many things that I don't even
That's
know what we're
okay.
talking about. I don't even know because I don't know
Well,
if
we
we're talking
started
about
talking
happiness,
about it
diet, or enlightenment.
because you were talking about two different kinds of happiness, but it's a good segment. It's people are curious about this. It's important.
No,
It gives
I know. I
you
just don't want.
perspective.
I just don't want this to be like where we talk about one thing and then we just open it up for everything.
It
You know what I
goes
mean?
where it goes. It was natural. You mentioned it, so we went into it. So anyway, coming back to the topic, yeah, we were talking about superfoods. So definitely cocoa is one, but if we go a little bit broader, even we can talk about just making sure that you have the basics of nutrition, like minerals and vitamins. So
Okay.
one thing that I've noticed that makes a big difference is making sure that I have minerals. Guys, if you look into Dr. Sebi talks all about minerals. He's very interesting, curing diabetes, diseases of the organs. He actually has a health retreat over in an island. I forget which island, but people go there who are bald. They regrow their hair. They get healed from diseases. It's crazy. Like I really want to go there one day and just sit in his volcanic springs because it's basically about the minerals. When you get the minerals inside you, it's basically electrolytes. You're made of minerals. It conducts electricity through every cell of your body, from your brain through your nervous system. Without these minerals, enzymes can't do what they want to do, and you don't have as good transmission of anything. Your thoughts don't transmit as well. Specifically, magnesium. There's entire books written on magnesium. And without getting too technical about this, we want to keep it practical. Basically, magnesium conducts 800 plus enzymatic activities, which means if you don't have it, 800 enzymes, they can't do anything, which means you're going to feel down. We're talking about chronic fatigue. How are you going to feel good if you're chronically fatigued? One thing that I found, man, is pumpkin seeds and herbs like basil, dill, cilantro, um, walnuts too. You know what I'll do? I'll put up a list of high magnesium foods, so that people can see, it makes a huge difference. And don't get the magnesium supplements, guys, because that can cause digestive issues. And when you don't have minerals connected with all the vitamins that happen naturally connected to foods, it does not digest properly. It's called bioavailability. When you buy supplements and vitamins, it's not with the complete host of all the different vitamins that it's supposed to naturally be with. So that's why you look at people taking multivitamins, they actually live less. There's no research that shows that multivitamins help because it's an unnatural, synthesized, made in the lab form.
I gotta point something out. I gotta. So you're saying that there's no vitamin study that says that it helps anyone?
Well, the study that I've seen is showing that there's
There's no
no
studies. There's
link.
no studies. 'Cause
I'll
that's
I'll
being
have to link it. Well, if you don't believe
Wait,
it,
hold on,
I'll have to
because I
link
want to
it.
make this. I want to make this clear. There's no studies that say that vitamins help. That multivitamins help people.
Of course, there's going to be studies
Okay,
because
I just want. But you
the
see how
companies that
like
make
that could be like misunderstood.
the products are gonna subsidize studies that do that. But I'm saying use your logic. I'm saying, is it natural to synthesize vitamins in the lab, or is it better to get it as nature intended with the complex host of
So do you
everything
think?
else?
So do you think that being natural means healthy? Like if you're natural, you're healthy.
You
Because that's
should
what you're saying. What?
return to nature, and the more you get into like man
Like,
created food, the more you're deviating from that. And most of the time that's not a good thing.
when you say man-made food, now this is I really disagree with most things that you're saying right now because when you're saying man-made food is unhealthy, then it's your obligation to then define healthy because for a lot of people triathletes they're eating man-made food and they seem to be doing the best in the world. So please define what healthy is so we can
So are
understand.
you saying that it's good to eat processed food that isn't natural?
I think that there's going to be so let's see if we can get to the health that you're talking about because I think that um, if you're saying that it has to be the best possible that you can get, I think that you have to uh, understand that you should then just grow your own food and you should then not buy from these manufacturers because what there's natural pesticides in the land like a lot of the land is not the way it used to be. So I think that there's just a lot of different factors, even the packaging. I mean, so I think would you then advise people to just grow their own food, or what would you suggest?
What I'm saying here, Gavin, is if you eat food that comes from the earth, then that's going to be healthier than if you're eating ice cream or Slim Jims
Yeah,
or
well,
packaged
that's a
dinners.
comparison but you're not comparing like, but that's like saying that's you're comparing ice cream, which is already unhealthy, to something that is like healthy. Like you have to compare something, the healthiest things that are processed and the healthiest things that are not processed to have a fair like comparison. You know what I mean?
Um, can you just state what you think I said was incorrect? Because
I think that
how we got here was I was saying if you eat foods like fruits and vegetables, plants, then they have the natural nutrient composition that assimilates into your body very naturally and much better than the
yeah, I think that
vitamins.
you should eat if you can if you can and it's working for you. I think that you should eat you should get your minerals from foods 100%. 100%, no gummies, no nothing, no Flintstones, no nothing. And so I think that that's it. Yeah, I mean
Yeah. Yo, have you tried moringa?
moringa. I think so, but low dose, low amounts, dude. I don't feel a lot of things from. The only thing I really feel is caffeine. That's like okay. I've used spirulina. Uh, I mean, I just don't get the effect that I'm expecting all the time. Like, I don't really get effect from it. It's weird. What about you?
Right.
Have
So
you tried?
yeah, that's an interesting concept because like a lot of times when we do go out and we buy these supplements that people talk about, like, oh, it's gonna change your life. You're gonna feel less inflamed. You're gonna feel better.
On
And then you
paper,
try it
it
and you're
looks
like,
good. On
oh
paper, it
man,
looks good.
it
But
didn't really do anything.
where, like, like I'm looking at this bottle. It says like 1,000% of amazing vitamins, and I'm like, I don't feel that much better. It's a waste of money, in my opinion,
Yeah, yeah, it goes straight through you.
because there's a
So
better way to because okay, can I give you an example
shoot.
of why I think that it's a waste of money? Because I used to have I had a lot of trouble with digesting food, like about 3 years ago, and really bad. I lost like 40 pounds, and I was really underweight, and so I was so lethargic. But I couldn't eat. Like, I don't know if it was candida or whatever. Um, and I was eating so low amounts of food, and I was
Mm,
vegan at the time,
mm.
and I took blood tests, and the only thing that was low was my like potassium and sodium. That was it. I wasn't taking. I was literally eating, Jonathan, juice. I was just having kale, cucumber, parsley, spinach. Oh my god! Literally, um,
Wow.
literally, I would have a juice, and then I would have like a handful of pasta, like a, probably
Just
like a
reach your
cup of
hand in the
pasta at
pot.
night, and like a little bit of sautéed spinach with like no like oil or anything. Couldn't eat it. That was like it. And I was like, and I was eating like the bare minimum. So I think that it depends. It
Did
depends
it
on a
help?
lot of what.
Did that
I
help?
just couldn't eat. I no, it wasn't like I wasn't doing it for health purposes necessarily. It was because I couldn't eat any. I could my I couldn't eat it. I felt so sick. Like, my stomach felt like every time I ate, it would blow. It would be like this turning, but it would blow up like, it was like boom, boom, and it would keep expanding.
Oh, yeah, gas. What was causing that, and how did you get better?
I don't even. I think it was a lot of psychological. It was a lot to do with psychology. My
Really?
psychological frame of mind. Yes. Oh, I
Really?
think
That's extreme.
that was
What was
probably
your frame of mind?
80% of the reason.
Really? What was your mindset back then? What
Well,
was causing that? That's fascinating.
I I'm just a very curious dude, and I think that it sparked interest to um, try out different ways of eating, and I did have like problems with eating before, so that was really the main thing. But um, yeah, so it was a combination for
So
sure.
everything that you described is how you started eating to solve the problem?
Dude, I don't even. I think I
Because that was a pretty healthy sounding diet. I mean,
even
tons of
working
veggies,
out,
a little bit of pasta.
I couldn't even work out to gain my appetite again. It was like it was the hardest thing to combat in my life. One of the hardest, like diet wise, yeah, 100%. Oh, thousand
But
percent.
but it got better because you fixed your mindset and your diet, right?
The mindset helped a lot, because the mindset, like what we're trying to say, the health leads to happiness is a way to get there. Not leads always, but yeah, it helped a lot for sure.
Yeah, that diet that you just laid out sounded pretty healthy. So that's really interesting, man. We were talking about like foods that actually help. Those
Mm.
foods definitely sound like they were pretty clean. I'm not surprised that you started feeling better after that. I was gonna mention
Magnesium,
moringa real
I
quick.
hmm?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention moringa because
Yeah,
we have a moringa tree in the backyard, and if you just take one clipping of moringa and eat it, it has all the minerals you need for the day, packed with
really?
vitamins and minerals. So whether or not you have moringa tree near you, try it. You know, you just gotta try some of these things and prove it for yourself. Everything's worth a shot, and don't pay $1 million for anything. Go out and try and find it naturally. But I did want to add in. Looks like you wanted to say something.
I was gonna say moringas. I heard it's good for focus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just feel better when I eat it. It's one of those little things that actually I feel an effect. Like my mind does feel better. One thing that I didn't feel an effect with was fish oil, but what I do feel an
Fish
effect
oil.
with is chia seeds to get the omega-3. And omega-3,
Interesting.
guys, if you didn't
These things
know,
are the bomb.
everybody, omega-3s, they help with brain inflammation. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But you definitely feel it. And combo right here, it has magnesium. It has a whole bunch of different vitamins, minerals, chia seed. We can do a whole show on chia seeds. Dr.
Magnesium.
Mandel has a great show on chia seeds. I'm going to link it.
Yes.
But you
It's
can
good
get
for
your
digestion.
omega-3s from
It's a seed.
digestion, you said?
It's good for digestion. Yeah, it's an easy
Oh, yeah.
digestible seed. Very easy
Oh,
digestible.
yeah. Yeah, it
And
clears
it soaks
everything
the
out.
water.
It's the gel. It's the gel effect. The gel is
Chia seed
powerful.
pudding, baby.
That's
Chia seed
right.
pudding.
And you
Put
can
that
put
in
some
your-
cocoa in there.
Oh,
You can put cocoa with the chia seed. We're getting combos.
I'm about to try that.
We're getting
have
combos here. Where's that
Combos.
chocolate? Oh, it's over there. I whacked it. I just made a kombucha. Segue. We're going to talk about kombucha and probiotics.
Segue.
Hey. So I just put chia seeds in my kombucha. And what? I know. I saw this at Publix. But the kombucha at Publix had 16. What? You don't like kombucha?
I don't
Was
like
that
the
you?
idea of having. Okay, that kind of sounds good. If it was like a strawberry kombucha, all right. I don't know what kombucha tastes like natural, but
You gotta try mine. I got
I'm
mine
thinking
brewing
so.
in the
The
fountain.
kombucha
You
that
just
I
go
had. Yeah.
straight. You gotta try mine. It's strong. It'll prove if you're a man, if you like brandy. It's like apple cider vinegar. It's
Oh,
it's
I
a
used to have
stinger.
that.
It's a stinger.
It is.
And I put chia seeds in it and a little bit of honey, and it's sitting in the refrigerator waiting for me. Lower sugar. I mean, you gotta watch out for these kombuchas at Publix, though. I just saw one that had 16 grams
Yo,
of
what's
sugar.
other combinations that you dig? What some other combinations? I'm curious.
Ginger.
Ginger.
If you put that ginger, anti-inflammatories, guys.
Ooh,
We're
what else?
throwing combos.
Give
This is
him.
a
Give him.
five
Throw it in.
combo. Bah, bah, bah.
Give it to him.
We're getting minerals. We're getting
Give it to 'em.
vitamins. We're
They're
getting
waiting.
probiotics. We're getting anti-inflammatories, guys. A little bit on probiotics.
Give it
Hey,
to him. No.
Yogis out there. Yeah, X gonna give it to him.
What's the ginger combo?
The ginger combo. Real quick, Sadhguru had a whole darshan about probiotics. This man's getting up and walking away. He has to go watch the darshan. He went to go watch the darshan. The gut flora, it creates feel-good hormones. Get this. The serotonin and melatonin that makes you feel calm and relaxed. The gut flora in your stomach, in your intestines, creates 80% of it, and 80% of your immune system is in your gut. If we just think about that, it's like, holy crap, like what's going on here? Like how is this happening? Like you got more living organisms in your body than you actually have cells that are influencing you by creating chemicals that affect your brain. Literally.
Have you ever thought
It's as
about
weird
the
as
idea that
that.
we have a gut, and if your gut is not healthy, then you don't really have a good gut feeling.
Exactly. Yeah. The nomenclature is very true because it creates the same chemicals that your brain creates, which is nuts. So if you're not doing anything for your gut, your little friends are pretty pissed at you. You know, like Osmosis Jones, you got a lot of those criminals being produced, and they're not happy. There's literally Osmosis Jones is not that far off. There's literally either good or bad bacteria living in your system, and you can increase the good, like the little osmosis cops that like go around and kill like all the ugly, fat, grimy bacteria. Yeah, that's actually happening. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so how do you do that? I mean, kombucha has so many different cultures, but even just eating the right foods feeds the good bacteria, and they multiply, and then boom, you have all these good badasses that are in there. Serotonin. Hey, Gavin, take some good neurotransmitters. Take some melatonin. Have a good night's sleep. And then your brain is just being influenced by all these little guys. You don't even notice that they're doing it, and they're all down there. Or if you're eating the wrong foods, then you're creating all these harmful bacteria that your leukocytes, your Luke Skywalker sites, have to
Dude,
go and eliminate.
if no one knows, if they don't know the terms that you're saying, they're so lost right now. So,
Who doesn't know about your immune system and leukocytes? They taught that in 4th grade.
I don't know what to say.
Have you ever done fermented foods?
Kind of.
Yeah, so easy thing that you can do, guys, is just eat more vegetables and fruits that have fiber, because those probiotics, that bacteria that make you feel better, they feed on the fiber. So the more fiber you eat, the more food that you're giving them, and they're going to be able to create this wonderful community inside you. All right, so we touched on anti-inflammatories. Did want to mention a few more of those. Do you have any anti-inflammatories that you've tried? Turmeric. How do you take that?
Well, I used to just put it on my food, but not a lot. I didn't take enough to really, but I know it's an inflammatory thing. Actually, no, I put it in my tea. No, did I? No, dude, I swear I don't inflammatory. I can't, not off the top of my head.
So I never put it on my food, although a lot of people like putting it in their curries. Dude, shout out to my friend Shayo. He told me this amazing Jamaican smoothie where you put turmeric with berries, cucumbers, ginger, and surprisingly, the turmeric and cayenne pepper and the Himalayan salt mixes so well with the blueberries. So you can really put it on anything. But
When I take
turmeric, what's
when
up?
I eat cayenne pepper and like a smoothie or something, like randomly, it's like my vitamin C. I feel my immune system improves substantially when I have random cayenne pepper.
I love cayenne pepper. It's also an anti-inflammatory. Cayenne pepper. Yeah, there's a lot of really good anti-inflammatories that they're so easy just to put in anything. Soups, salads. We'll have to put up smoothies even.
Oh, it's so good. Oh,
nutmeg.
Dude, I got one right here. Ready? Pineapple.
Cinnamon.
Yo, pineapple. No. Pineapple, cayenne pepper, coconut flakes, and maybe oats or protein powder. Boom.
I don't know about the last two, but everything before that, for sure.
It makes it thicker. And I realized like when you use like oats, just dried oats, it makes it like thicker. Have you ever had
I used to do that with, as long as it's organic, yeah, and it goes well with your body.
Yeah.
Vegan protein powder.
Yeah, I mean,
I love how you mentioned pineapple, man.
Pineapple, dude.
Pineapple. You're making SpongeBob proud, dude.
Yo, I love pina coladas so much, and it's like a spicy pina colada, dude. It's really good.
Really, a spicy pina colada? Oh, you're gonna be tempting a lot of the ladies out there with that. I can see that.
Why? Why?
Hey, ladies, would you like a taste of my spicy pina colada? Vegan?
Yeah,
it's vegan. I'm vegan.
I'm vegan. Oh yeah. Say less. All right. But
say less. Nutmeg. Yeah, so let's just throw out tons of anti-inflammatories. That'll be a nice little
blueberries,
thing.
Raspberries.
Cherries. You go.
Oh man. All right, go. I lose. Down. I lose a point.
John.
John.
10
Get one.
push-ups.
Go ahead. You name one. 5, 4.
Sweet potatoes.
Purple potatoes.
Are you sure that's an anti-inflammatory? Oregano, for real.
I haven't thought about healthy foods in a. God damn.
20 push-ups.
No, cayenne pepper.
There's a lot of good ones out there, guys. I mean, just get it from the foods. We already mentioned some of the best ones. Boswellia. People rave about combining that with turmeric. There's scientific reasons behind that. But we gotta move on. The show has been going on. We covered a lot of good things. Take a glance at my notes right here. Yeah, basically all these things that we mentioned, try them out, see how you feel. It's all the little things that get added up. You're gonna start feeling really different. Real quickly, let's just touch on eating foods that are raw and uncooked. Real quick, if you eat foods that are not cooked, then they have enzymes and more oxygen.
You get bad side effects, though. You have to talk about the negatives, too.
Raw food? No, because raw food is natural food.
Like, if you eat eggplant, there's something that I don't. My mom sent me something about eating eggplant raw. But like mushrooms raw, I think I haven't heard anything bad about it. Stuff like that. But like broccoli raw, carrots raw.
Are you still there? Okay, we're still here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Technical difficulty. Okay, so yeah, for sure. Like the more you can eat raw, the more enzymes and oxygen you're gonna have. The protein's gonna be in a natural state. So guys, if you just try and increase the amount of food that you eat raw, shoot for like 50% uncooked.
That's a lot. That's so much, dude.
Just shoot for it.
No.
Try it out.
No.
Try it out.
I'll eat a cucumber, but I'm not having a baked potato.
You're supposed to be encouraging people to do this.
Yes, don't do that.
Gavin, try it.
No. I'm not eating my pasta raw. No.
I'm talking about fruits and vegetables and beans. Even well, I don't know, beans. I take that back. As many things as I can.
Beans raw. Yo,
seeds.
Good for you, bro. All right. That's like. All right. What's some, I'll name some. I'll name some. Broccoli's good raw. Carrots. I don't know about asparagus. Raw. Nuts raw. That's good.
Yeah. Once you start cooking nuts, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Who doesn't like raw nuts? All right. So that, like herbs and stuff raw.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
Not cooking your vegetables. I mean, try not to cook the vegetables if you can. It's cool if you have a recipe, but try and include like a little tossed salad if you're going to have soup or like a cooked meal. You'll notice the difference. Raw food is basically alive. When you cook it, you're basically killing a lot of the things that were alive that help you feel more agile, light. A lot of the vitamins change, the protein changes. It's harder for your body to actually assimilate and digest, and it actually takes a lot of energy to process and digest cooked food versus when it's alive. So this is probably really underrated. It makes a huge difference. So try that, guys. Try eating a lot more raw food. I did want to touch on as you're implementing a lot of these things, your skin is going to look better. My acne went away once I started taking out dairy. Boom. And yeah, a lot of people have a lot of issues psychologically when they just feel like, they have acne. It really bugs them. They feel ugly. A lot of it has to do with the hormones, and a lot of it has to do with nutrition, for sure. So play around with taking out dairy and eating more avocados and all these things that we talked about. It'll make a difference even on your skin. I mean, just look at Gavin's face. I mean, who doesn't want a smooth
I have a
model
really
face like
bad.
that?
I have like cold sores. I get cold sores, like freaking cold sores, dude. I would love to talk about just remind me. But yeah, I used to have acne a lot too.
Right? How did it go away? Milk? Did you take out milk?
I don't know, dude. I think it was just a period.
For some people, it's just like their hormones. That's why it changes when they become
Yeah,
like
stress
puberty and
too.
teenager.
Stress.
So
Hell yeah.
stress, hormones, and the foods that you eat. Milk has a lot of steroids and hormones. So this is gonna make you look better. When you look better, you feel better. It's gonna be easier to be happy. You're gonna be more positive. Lastly, dude, um, let's talk about like the ambiance and environment and the mindset of when you eat. Like
Like the
food, I
relationship,
feel
right?
like people are just eating when they're like driving. You see them eating and they're just like watching Game of Thrones. They're not even thinking about like this really important facet. What are they missing out on? What can they do better to be more in touch with food, and why should they be more in touch with food?
Could I answer that?
Yeah,
I think that cooking is a really great way to do it. And we're not. I don't think you should force yourself like an exercise to to cook. I think it should be done like you actually want to make it. You actually want to um,
hmm,
make it taste good. So
hmm.
you're being conscious about it. Like you're not looking at every speck of flour that goes into it and like, oh, I'm so in the moment, like pouring your shit. Like I'm talking about like you're actually just making like you're just like I want to make I want to make a freaking smoothie, yo. Oh, what am I gonna make? Yo, I'm gonna make this pineapple cayenne. I'm gonna try this out, and I'm gonna look
Pina
up the
colada.
recipe. You go through a process, like you go through the process of making food, and that then when you sit down to eat it, you respect it more,
Hmm.
or you enjoy it more, and you actually take the time to taste it. You're aware of tasting it, and you don't. And okay, another thing is when you when you sit down to eat, um, don't get take your time. Don't rush yourself because um, I think that people don't give themselves. People try to rush their food because they want to do other stuff, and it's just kind of convenient. They feel like they just have to wolf it down and then deal with it later. Deal with your
Sad.
food. Deal with your food now. Digest your food now, and the way to do that is to um, okay. Can you explain about how you digest most of your food in your mouth? You know how?
Yeah, the enzymes, amylase, and chewing
So
correctly too.
exactly. So when your saliva breaks down your food in your mouth. So the reason we're telling you to do all these things is because we have an insight, and maybe you do too. We don't know who's watching this, but we see
Yogis.
more of like the practicality of like what it's leading up to. So when we say take your time, we're actually saying if they take their time, then they're gonna digest more of the food in their mouth and they're gonna feel happy. But we might not tell you a lot of the stuff. So if we don't, just trust us in a sense. So yeah, take your time with your food. And do you have anything to add to like
Oh man, I
the
love
beginning
everything that
stages
you're
of eating
saying.
food? Like the beginning stages of eating food?
Yeah, dude, I love everything that you're saying. I still remember one time at the food court at the mall, I watched you eat that falafel, and
I
you
was
took
I
your
was
time. You took your time.
I was trying so hard,
I
dude. It
was
was like
so
I was
impressed
trying.
because nobody pays attention to every bite, and you didn't have your phone, and you weren't even talking. And I started thinking about that a lot. And for sure, like you mentioned, chewing the food better, instantly you're gonna get better nutrition. Dude, one thing that I found was not not watching anything on my phone, not listening to an audiobook, just being there with the food and really getting to this mode of like, um, I'm gonna really enjoy this. You enjoy it so much more. There's so many
Yeah, let
different things that
yourself
happen.
let
Huh?
yourself let yourself enjoy it too.
Yeah, because you
You
go
know,
through so much to get money, to get food, and then to actually let it nourish you and to enjoy the food. It's an amazing process. You get so much more out of like I kind of play with my food. Like I eat with my hands, even when it's like a salad. So I like to take like a chickpea, a piece of
mm,
green, and I mix it with something new every
try the
single
weird stuff
time.
with
And you
food,
taste a
man.
lot of different things. It's like,
Yeah,
I feel like I'm a French person at like a food tasting thing. I'm like, oh, this is exquisite. Oh, the combination, superb when you have
yeah,
those
you
three things
do,
together. Like it's
dude.
it's
The
such a
smoothies that
pleasant
you make,
process.
it's insane. It's insane. Your whole kitchen is like ready to make any smoothie right on the spot.
Oh. any
Already,
smoothie
I've never
instantly.
walked in your house.
It's a
and your smoothie
privilege.
maker's not clean.
Yeah.
Big bag of chia seeds, big bag of goji berries, which is great food, by the way.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you got your cayenne, turmeric, your freaking Himalayan salt, your
Yeah.
I mean, shit, your house looks like it's ready to set up for like a recipe on how to make a smoothie. So I think that
Oh, you're talking about my house
yeah,
in particular,
yeah.
or are you talking about like?
No, yours.
Uh,
Do you hear me? The audio cut out. I don't know if this is well, guys. My name's Gavin. I'm gonna go on a little fucking thing right now because he's not here right now, so I can actually have a chance to talk. No, I'm kidding. I love Jonathan. We met at Veg Fest, and I don't know if we're gonna post the original video, but we talked about how we met, and he's an awesome guy. He's a physical therapist. This man's crazy knowledgeable. He reads like a maniac. He knows information that it's like when I talk to him, I figure out information that I didn't even know he even was interested in. So I went on a little thing about how we met,
oh,
but
you're talking about this.
happened. I think no, like what happened, like with this, like did I just did it disconnect or something or
Yeah, my internet went out.
yeah, so yeah, um, if this is gonna probably be like we're gonna improve so much. I know we are because I know that um, this is just the start of this, and sorry, but I'm like fixing this. But yeah, we're gonna give you so much knowledge you're not ready for, and perspectives that we didn't even know we're ready for because we're just perspective on the spot and just give it to you guys, and we're gonna we're gonna grow with you guys, and this is gonna be just enjoyable to do this live and to just just help so give people so much value that they wouldn't have to spend. We're kind of like YouTube gave us so much value in a short amount of time, but we're gonna half that, and we're gonna give that to you in a quicker amount of time and with more value. I think this was in the making for many years.
Very true. Hey guys, this has been awesome. I'm really happy that we got to talk about all these things. These things will make a huge difference. They definitely did for me. Just one more thing on taking your
Yeah.
time to really feel the food and see how it feels in your body. It really lets you know what's happening inside your body in terms of is it helping you or is it making you heavy? Is it a good food for you? Is it bad? Is it the volume of food? Are you eating too much? When
Are you
you are
scared?
alone with the food, um, you're more in touch with like if it's good food or not. Not only that, but ever since I started eating without distraction, you just get better ideas. Have you noticed that too? It's kind of like your mind is more positive. Your mind is flowing. You're not distracted by some
It's like
kind of
you
show
get
that you're
yourself out of the
watching,
rhythm, out of the habits. Yeah.
and you start getting ideas about whatever your goals are, or you just feel happy. So what I realized is whenever I was like, but I could be listening to an audiobook while I eat. What I realized is what I miss out when I'm distracted is a lot of creative thoughts and a lot of ideas and a lot of insights into like what my mind is doing on a day-to-day basis.
Dude, I'm
So
so hungry.
you do gain when you pay attention, um, and you're not distracted. So that's a huge thing. It was hard. Can you hear me? Okay.
No, no.
And yeah, you get better ideas. Anyways, we went through so many things. Uh, God, just to recap, we talked about superfoods. We talked about cocoa. We talked about getting the right minerals in your diet, Himalayan salt. We talked about getting vitamins in your diet. We talked about what else did we talk about, Gavin?
Kombucha, inflammation,
Probiotics,
spirituality, happiness,
inflammation, anti-inflammatories.
for sure.
Yeah, we talked about
Relationship
um,
with food, how you make it, different smoothies you can make, pineapple.
yeah,
Uh,
we even dipped into the idea of becoming your own alchemist and pharmacist. We'll have to have a whole show on, our path and what we're doing with that, and that's a whole nother thing. But
Gosh, I want to go eat. I just want to eat earlier so I don't eat late and not be able to sleep. I just want to confess. Okay, I'm gonna go eat something. I'm gonna bring it back.
okay, so I guess you wrapped it up, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's all about feeling more and more alive. Thanks for tuning into the Full-Fledged Life Show, being here with me, Jonathan, and Gavin. Hope this blessed you guys, and until next time, keep reaching for your ultimate well-being. It's not too far away. Be blessed.